So about a week ago, I participated in TriJam, which is a game-making challenge that happens every weekend. The goal is to create a game in 3 hours, hence the Try and TriJam, and the game you make must stick to a theme that's voted on earlier in the week. There's a 72-hour window to make your game, and you can either do it all in one go, or split up your 3 hours across the time however you please. Also, a couple things to note. You can't go over 3 hours, but if you get first place, it won't count. But to quote my favorite undersea sponge, it's not about winning, it's about fun. Also, while they did hold a vote to decide the theme, they ended up just choosing all 5, and you could just pick which one you want to use. I personally chose thin borders, which I interpreted as the borders of the game window. So as you progress, the window expands. Also, some stuff like planning doesn't count towards your time, so I pretty much planned out the entire game before I started. And aside from a few things that were scrapped or changed for time, the game pretty much turned out as planned. So without further ado, 3 hours on the clock, let's begin. So I've got a framework here. Very basic pygame framework, has a bunch of helpful functions, camera stuff, importing sounds and images, etc. That's about it. I'll check back in a bit. Alright, so I've got a little bit of art going now. This is sort of going to be like a turn-based, grid-based, card-based fighting game. Okay, no, let me explain that better. So enemies spawn here, and you need to kill them. But wait, how do I attack? All I can do is move around. Well, here's where the cards on the side come into play. If you follow the directions on the card in order, you perform an attack. Different cards have different attacks which affect different areas. Killing enemies with said attacks grants score and XP. Gaining XP levels you up, which expands the border, which reveals new cards and enemy spawn points. And all this keeps going until you're surrounded by enemies and can no longer move. Except at a point the window stops expanding because it would run out of room if it kept going. And that's all you need to know for now. So back to development, we have 1 hour, 37 minutes, and 53 seconds left on the timer. I've got some stuff done. If I launch the game, I can move around and it plays little sound effects. I wanted to, instead of having music, have different actions in the game play music notes, because that took like 3 minutes to make. Meanwhile, making actual music probably would have taken me like half an hour plus. When you finish a combo, it'll play a chord instead of the regular moving sound. Of course, I can't show the chord thing because the combos aren't in yet. Now I just want to pause for a second and talk about resourcefulness and game jams, which is basically just knowing when something is and isn't worth your time, and coming up with more efficient solutions. This jam I really wanted to focus on that as much as I could, especially because of the incredibly short deadline, and incorporating the music into the sound effects was probably the best way I did that. Also, another reason I was doing this was because of the previous game jam I'd participated in. I ended up spending way too much time on art, specifically the player character, which had 36 frames of animation which I spent hours perfecting. And on top of that, I ended up making this really complicated layering system which split the character animations into 106 sprites. That is never what you want in a game jam. Never do this. So surely I've learned my lesson and I'll finish in time, right? Right? Alright, 10 minutes left. Sorry it's been so long. I've been in work mode. I don't have much time left, but we're not very close. Well, we are, but basically, I need to make the cards, I need to make the attacks fully work, I need to make the screen expand, which shouldn't be too hard. I think I have all of the pieces in place for it. I'm worried there's not going to be enough time for, like, all the little things, and I'll have to go a little bit over. I do think I can at least do it in under 4 hours still. Wish it could have been in the proper time limit, but do the best I can. Well, time's up. I didn't finish. Alright, I'm currently 8 minutes over, and I got the attacking working. That came together surprisingly quick. Oh shit, I just realized. It's only attacking where the enemies were, not where they are gonna be next. Because it happens before they move. You know, I think that's fine. Now at this point I had a few things left to do, and all of them were pretty quick, but as I mentioned before, I would need to make time for all the little things, because as I was wrapping up it became more clear what still needed to be done. But eventually I got through it all with 50 minutes to spare. Wait, sorry. 50 minutes past the deadline. Now that the game was done, I slapped together an itch page and submitted it to the jam. And after a couple days of rating other entries, the results are in. Second place out of 24 entries. Of course, it doesn't exactly count because I went overtime, but so did the majority of the top 10, so wasn't exactly alone in that. Anyway, the game can be played in browser as a downloadable for Windows. Link to that is in the description. And while you're down there, you should subscribe or join my Discord server. That's all. Thank you. Goodbye.